Most chiropractors are sitting on a literal gold mine and don't even know it. Here's what I'm talking about. It's about your Google My Business listing. It could be generating 3 times more new patient calls in the next 30 days. But right now, it's probably just sort of sitting there like a forgotten billboard on a back road that nobody drives on, so nobody looks at it. I'm Dr. Chris Tomshack, and after helping hundreds of independent chiropractors transform their local visibility, I can tell you the difference between a listing that generates calls, a lot of calls, and one that collects digital dust comes down to 3 specific changes that most doctors just never make because they don't know that they need to. So today I'm going to walk you through exactly how to turn your Google listing into a 24-hour patient generating machine, and why the advice you've probably heard about just getting more reviews is only really scratching the surface of this whole topic. And then we'll talk about the 3 elements that determine whether someone clicks your listing or scrolls right past it to your competitor instead. So stick with me, because what I'm about to show you in the first strategy alone has doubled call volume for practices that implemented it in under 2 weeks. You probably want to take a couple notes here. So here's what's actually happening when potential new patients search for a chiropractor in your community. They're not reading every single listing carefully. Not at all. They're not comparing credentials. They could care less about that. They're scanning fast, really fast, making split-second judgments based on visual cues and emotional triggers you probably aren't even aware that they exist. So picture someone sitting in their car after work. Their neck's killing them. They're pulling out their phone and typing chiropractor near me. Now, Google shows them 3 to 5 options, maybe more, and they've got about 7 seconds of attention to give before they either call someone or just plain give up and punt. Your listing is competing in that 7-second window, and most chiropractors are losing this battle without realizing the fight even exists. And this is where what I call the instant authority formula comes in. It is the first strategy that separates listings that generate calls from listings that generate nothing. So after analyzing hundreds of high-performing chiropractic listings, I discovered a pattern. And the one getting the most calls, well, it's not necessarily the one with the most reviews or the best locations, not at all. They're the ones that answer the searcher's 3 silent questions faster than anyone else. And here's the first question. Can you fix my specific problem? Question 2, will this be a hassle? And then question number 3, can I trust you? Most listings answer maybe one of these if they're lucky. Now, high converting listings answer all 3 in the first 5 seconds someone looks at them. So here's how you apply the same approach to your listing starting today. First, rewrite your business description so that you're leading with the specific problems you solve, not your credentials or philosophy. They don't care about that stuff. Instead of we're a family chiropractic practice focused on holistic wellness, throw that one away. Instead, try we eliminate chronic back pain, neck pain, and headaches so you can get back to living without constant pain. See the difference? One talks about you, and the other talks about what the patient actually cares about, which is themselves. And the second, add specific service categories that people are searching for. Don't just select, chiropractor. Add back pain treatment, sports injury, car treatment injury, auto accident injuries, sciatica treatment. Google matches these service terms to the search queries that the potential patients are making. And the more specific you are, the more often you will appear. And third, upload at least 20 high-quality, high-res photos that show real patients getting real care in your actual office, not stock photos. Not empty adjustment tables. Real people in real moments in time in your office. This visual proof answers that trust question, and it answers it instantly. But here's where most chiropractors completely fumble their listing, and it's costing them, honestly, probably half their potential calls before anyone even sees their phone number. The second strategy is what I call the response architecture system. The response architecture system, and it's probably the most overlooked element in local search optimization you can think of. So here's what I consistently see when I audit chiropractic Google listings. They've got reviews, sometimes hundreds of them, But those reviews all sound exactly the same. Great doctor, friendly staff, highly recommend, 5 stars. Those generic reviews do almost nothing to generate calls because they don't address the specific fears and objections sitting in that potential patient's mind when they're deciding whether to call you. Think about it from their perspective and not yours. They're in pain. They got a problem. They're skeptical. They're definitely worried about the cost. They're worried about the time. They're afraid of getting locked into long treatment plans. They need specific reassurance that you understand their exact situation, and most reviews never provide this information. So here's the framework that turns reviews into new patient call generators. First, create a simple review request system that asks specific questions. Don't just say, hey, please leave us a review. Say, could you share what problem brought you in and how you're feeling now? This prompts patients to tell detailed before and after stories that future patients can relate to. They can see themselves in it. And then second, respond to every single review, especially the detailed ones, by highlighting the specific problem mentioned. So if someone says, hey, I came in barely able to turn my head, now I'm pain-free, your response should be, we're so glad we could help with your neck mobility issues and the pain. That's exactly what we specialize in. This reinforces your expertise to everyone reading. And then third, and this is the game changer most practices miss completely, make sure you've got reviews that specifically address common objections. Reviews that mention affordable payment options, reviews that mention quick appointment availability, reviews that mention minimal wait times. When potential patients see their concerns already answered in reviews, they call instead of continuing to just scroll to the next. But there's something even more powerful than reviews when it comes to generating calls, and most chiropractors don't even know this feature exists on their Google listing. This third strategy has generated more immediate calls and increased call volume than anything else I've implemented across thousands of practices. The third strategy is what I call the conversion catalyst method, and it's all about using Google posts to create urgency and immediate action. Here's what chiropractors don't realize. Your Google listing isn't static. You can post updates that appear directly in your listing, showing before reviews, before photos, right where potential patients are making their decision about whether to call you or not. These posts expire after 7 days, which means most businesses never use them because they seem like too much work. But that's exactly why they're so powerful for the practices that do use them. You're showing up where your competitors simply are not. So here's how you weaponize Google posts to generate calls. First, create a weekly post that highlights a specific problem you solve with expertise, with a clear call to action. Struggling with chronic headaches? We specialize in finding and fixing the root cause. Call today for a same-day appointment. Then include a relevant photo and a phone number link. Always a hyperlink. Second, post patient success stories. Not full testimonials, just quick wins. This week we helped a local teacher get back to work pain-free after 3 years of chronic back pain. These little micro stories build trust and show that you're actively helping people right now in their community. And then third, and this is where you create real urgency, post about limited availability or special programs. We have 3 new patient slots available this week. If you've been putting off getting help with your neck pain, now is the time. Or here's something even more powerful. We're now offering compliant cash discount programs through apexlongevity.com that make care more affordable than most people realize. Call to learn how we can get you the treatment you need within your budget. That last piece is critical. It's critical because here's what I've discovered after working with over 3,000 independent chiropractors over the years. The number one reason people don't call, even when they're in pain and looking at your listing, is money fear. They assume they can't afford it. When you change the script, when you proactively address affordability in your Google posts, you remove the biggest psychological barrier between a listing that people will just view versus an actual call. Practices that implement compliant cash discount programs and actively communicate them in their Google presence, they see call volume increases of 50% or more because they're catching all the people who would have scrolled past due to cost or fee concerns. Now, if you're sitting there thinking this all sounds great, but you're wondering how to actually implement a compliant discount cash program without spending weeks navigating regulations, state boards, etc., insurance companies, well, head over to apexlongevity.com. It's a free, completely compliant system that lets you offer legitimate discounts in any state without putting your practice at risk. This is the missing piece that turns a good Google listing into a patient-generating machine, because you can confidently tell people you've got affordable options that deliver, and you can deliver on that promise. So your Google My Business listing is working for you 24 hours a day, but only if you've optimized it the right way. Most chiropractors set it up once, forget about it completely. The ones dominating their local markets are treating it like the most important marketing asset they have, because it's exactly what it is. Now, if you want to learn how to turn those calls into long-term patients who actually complete their treatment plans and refer their friends and family, watch the next video where I break down the 3 conversation strategies that turn first-time callers into lifetime patients. I hope you found some value. Please leave me a detailed review. Hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.